Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment. I only have one question.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
What up?
What's going on, man? Welcome back. It's
Yeah.
been too long, dude, for doing this.
Way too long. But it's been busy. It's been busy. I don't think we had an episode since the holidays.
Not an episode. We've been posting stuff, doing gameplays, but no actual episodes.
Yeah.
It's been too long. At least we've been keeping up with everything, so that's what's most important, letting everybody know.
Well, I got 8 hours of being bored at a desk, so I listen to podcasts.
Yeah, I'm 11 hours in the car, man, so I know what you mean. What do you think of Switch 2? I think that was probably one of the biggest news so far, right?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
I think that I want to see what that launch line. I know I'm gonna end up with one. Like I'm gonna end up buying one because Zelda or Donkey Kong or something's gonna come out, and I'm gonna be like, I want it. I need it. But do I need it day one? That's what the launch line is gonna tell me.
That's the thing. I don't think Zelda's going to be a game just because they just had one new.
No.
And you know the way Nintendo doesn't like shadow announce games where they're going to announce it and then like, oh yeah, it's going to release 2 months later. They never do that. It's always they announce a game and then 3 years later it comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Metroid. It's still not out. It came out like 10 years. But I think there'll be a Mario game.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I think a new 3D Mario game, something like Odyssey or Galaxy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it'll be Odyssey 2. It's been too long.
I
I mean,
think.
because that game came out 8 years ago. I think
Yeah.
that game came out.
I mean, let's be honest though. They go Super Mario Journeys. It's
Yeah,
not,
whatever.
You know, it's basically just Super Mario 64 5.
Yeah, it'll be something out.
Yeah.
I'll play that. But the only thing is, if you looked at it, it wasn't like it was kind of lackluster.
Yeah, which I get it. It's a teaser. It's supposed to be kind of loud. It's supposed to tease our balls a little bit to make us want to come back in April.
I mean, they did a lot of. You see a lot of the stuff. They improved the Joy Cons. You could see there's a lot better connections around the edge of them.
Yeah.
They made it thicker to help prevent that stick drift.
Them
A little
having
bit
that
bigger,
fucking-
screen bigger.
That fucking snap. That's
Yeah.
the big thing for me.
I don't. It's magnet locks. It seems they said, but it seems like there may be a lot of connection failures because of that.
Well, there's like the
What do you-
little thing you put in. It's almost like an old cartridge on each side.
It's small though, so that's
Yeah.
what I don't know. It looks like a USB C.
It might be. Which that's fine as long as
Did you see there is an extra charging port? There's one at the bottom and one at the top now.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, there's two.
Which is awesome when you're playing and you gotta charge it.
And it's backward compatible for physical games too,
Yeah.
not just digital games. So it's going to be the same cartridge,
I
basically.
wonder.
'Cause it has to be.
I wonder if they could do like a Game Boy Color type thing. Because remember, like the Game Boy Color could play all your old Game Boy cards. They just kind of removed that little tab, so that your old Game Boy couldn't run it.
Well, it's kind of like Wii and the GameCube. They were
Yeah.
backward compatible.
Yeah.
It's just playing the CDs. One thing if you noticed, obviously that game they showed was Mario Kart. Don't know if it's actually Mario Kart 9 because there's tracks that weren't in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of Mario Kart 9, whatever it's called. But Donkey Kong changed. The one thing a lot of people didn't notice is I thought it would have been the first thing people noticed is because they zoomed in on the starting line of the game, and you see 24 spots for 24 racers. You're gonna have Mario Kart Online with 24 players.
Yeah.
And dude, of course, the first thing I thought of was like the first thing you see in the comments because it just stands out. Dude, someone blue shells me online, and I go from fucking first to 24th place. There's gonna be rage, like on never before seen in mankind.
Like,
Just uninstall the game.
I mean, when we were talking, I made the joke of like, I'm a Jay and Silent Bob motherfucker. I'll
Yeah,
fly to their
it's-
house.
Yeah, that's at the out of. You're going to see so much craziness. It's going to be like the guy that like gets right to the finish line and just keep getting blown up, and he just goes straight, and everyone just keeps flying underneath him. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
That's going to be fun though. I mean, I'll get it, but the thing is, that's it's kind of like leads into the like the GTA thing with prices and like just the status of the industry. I want to talk about like where you said too. I'm going to get it. It's Nintendo. I'll get it. It's rumored to be $3.99.
Yeah.
U.S. dollars. So okay, which I kind of figured because the Switch regular was $2.99
Yeah.
when I came out, so it's $100 more, a little bit bigger, but it's kind of like we said earlier, like lackluster, like a Steam Deck, the Asus, Rally,
ROG and-
yeah, the ROG Rally and the Steam Deck, they're kind of you could do a lot more with them. Now I know, granted, that's the same price as the Rally, unless you get the huge one. Steam Deck's a little bit more, but you can do a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Are they going to upgrade this one? Are they going to let you go to YouTube and the internet on it? Let the Switch you couldn't because they wanted it to be just gaming. So it's kind of like
I mean, like,
I'm going to get it because it's Nintendo, but is it worth it?
that. So ultimately, that's the thing. Do I wait for that first Christmas when they drop that price a little bit, or wait a year? They drop that price. Then I pick it up with
I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't. I'm going to get it right away.
I gotta see what that launch lineup looks like. Money's tight.
They're gonna have to have something. They're gonna have to. They can't. Nintendo always has done that. Like when they released the Switch, it was Mario, and then, no,
Breath of the
Zelda.
Wild.
Yeah, it was Zelda, and then Mario came out. Like, when did that come out? In June
That was
or August?
October.
It was October?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Breath of the Wild was with it. So they always have a huge game. It's going to be a Zelda game now because they just had one. So it'll probably be some Mario game. Who knows? Maybe it's going to have to. Prime 4 will probably have to come out. I would imagine with this game because they just did that huge trailer for it with gameplay.
Yeah, dude, that game looked. Everyone was saying it looks too good to be a Switch game.
Yeah, but the thing is also, remember, they say the Switch 2 is going to be as powerful as like the Xbox One S and PS4.
Yeah, they're talking like it might be between a PS4 and a Pro.
Right.
Which is
So, and that's the weird thing. Like Xbox, if you notice, or not Xbox, Nintendo. It's always the first one to come out with a new console in like that generation period.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Switch came out first, right before like the Xbox and PS came out 2013. Then the Switch came out in 17, and it was like that newer one. And then they came out with the Series X and everything, and the One X and everything out before that. But now Nintendo's coming out with this new one to kind of like leapfrog and start like the next generation as far as time period goes. But as far as capabilities, it's always like one or two generations behind.
yeah, which let's be honest.
It's like an iPhone. It comes out with like the newest phone, but the features it has are like the one Samsung had 3 years ago.
Like, exactly. That's the problem I've always run into with Nintendo is, and I think that's why they lean heavily on like Switch being more of a handheld than a console. Because
Yeah.
let's be honest, we expect a handheld to kind of have those, to be pulled back in power. Look at the Steam Deck or the
Yeah.
Ally.
I mean, I played my Switch like 90% handheld.
Yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I rarely play my Switch in handheld.
Really? Okay.
Because like, I'll like lay in bed and play like Castlevania Advanced Collection or something, but not like.
Mhm.
I own a big TV. I want to play my games on it.
Yeah.
But, what was I getting? Yeah, but I don't think Nintendo needs all that power for their first party lineup, which is really what what you buy a Nintendo console for. Do you really need the power of a Series X to run a bigger Mario game?
No, you don't. I mean, and that's the thing about Nintendo. They're always, they're not bad games because actually, if you look at it, the top, whatever, it's like 15, 20 rated games ever,
Yeah.
pretty much the top 10. I think 8 or 9 of the top 10 games are Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Like Mario, every Zelda game, Ocarina of Time still number one. Nothing's ever going to beat that. I think it's impossible. It's got like a 99.7 rating or something. Like nothing's ever going to beat that, especially now because you always have like that one asshole that wants to give it like a 75 to stand out, and that drops the thing down to like a 97 or a 98 overall.
Yeah. You
Oh.
Well, one of the issues is there's so many of these like games journalists
Right.
that review with their heart.
Mhm.
Which, yeah, okay, I'm gonna tell you why the game isn't fun, but they won't tell you why. Okay, you reviewed this game. Your words say it's amazing. Why is it a 7? You know, or your review
Right.
says it's dog shit. Why is it an 8?
Dude, I think that's a perfect segue into the prices and the status of the industry. I think we're going to talk about because remember how yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but it makes you think about other stuff when you hear it. Like people are saying GTA 6 is going to be like $100 for the base edition. I don't see that ever happening. I think it's a rumor. I think people are just sending that out there to try to float the idea to see what people's reaction would be. This, when in the future, it's never gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen. They don't need to. Rockstar's gonna make $1 billion in 6 hours on this game. They're gonna make their money 100,000 times fold. Right? That doesn't matter what their budget is. I don't care. But think about it. Nintendo's games have always been about, overall fun, more family-oriented games, kids games, or even the adult games like Breath of the Wild isn't necessarily a kids game now with Zelda because of the puzzles. It's kids designed with like adult themes, like kind of like when you watch cartoons with your kid. Like the colors and characters are for or animated movies like Disney Pixar's. The designs of the characters are for the kids, but the jokes and the references they make, the kids don't get those. We get it.
Look at those
So
Pixar moms.
Yeah, and it's how they yeah, Mrs. Incredible, right? Like it's how they bring everyone together. Like the kids like this part, the parents like this part, they play together, right? And most of the adults that play are still going to like the kid stuff in it. That's why they're playing games. So it's like a win-win for them. That's why they're always good rated. So I think it's a good point because Xbox, PlayStation, Steam have been graduated more to the more mature type games, right? But huge role-playing games, God of War, Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever it is, Halo, right? They don't have that kid-centric theme to it. And because of that, they've tried to expand games, like huge budgets and everything. And we see those things failing now. Because you have such huge budgets that take so long. They're paying so many people such high salaries and medical benefits and everything. And then when these games, the longer it goes on, the more money they spend. Because people need high-end graphics. Because that's what you expect from Xbox, not Nintendo. Right? Or PlayStation, not Nintendo. And these games end up failing because they don't sell the amount of copies. And then everybody blames the gamer because, oh, you don't care about this or whatever woke shit or stuff they come out with. And I think that's a huge thing now in the status of the industry where if Xbox and PlayStation switched and kind of dialed it back to like the level, not Nintendo type games, but the level Nintendo is at, where it's more AA games, 15, 20 hours max for 100% completion, maybe 10 to 12 on the story, right? You get a really good game. You could still get really good graphics just in a much less condensed period.
For instance, sorry to cut you off, but look at Astrobot. Astrobot sold really well. It did really well at the award show, whether you agree that it should have won or not. It deserved 2 places there. Like I played it since then. That game is awesome.
I platinumed it. It was a good game.
Yeah.
So now think about it. If they did that and you come out with, say, I don't know, like a Halo game or something, but like a different kind, like branch off, kind of like how Assassin's Creed did the Chronicles series, right? So, like a different version of that, or even a brand new game that's only 10, 12-hour story, 20 hours max on
Go back to what Halo
completions.
used to be.
Right,
Sorry.
and No, yeah, you do that. And think about it. You get all that great quality graphics in a much smaller time frame. So you spend much more money. You're still, chances are you're going to sell pretty much the same amount of copies, if not more, because everyone's going to be, oh wow, this is cool. It's a new take on it. And right now that new take is what people have been asking for. So you're going to have a lot more surplus that you could bank. And when those things start to run out, you have to change with the industry. Go back to those big games.
Like, if they make, like, okay. If you make, like, 2 or 3 giant games a year, you know, let's say Sony makes their Horizon, Xbox makes Fable, their huge game. Let's go with that. Nintendo has, you know, Zelda with Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. They've been pretty massive. Bug testing them, all that. You have plenty of time. You have plenty of stuff to get done. Now scale back. Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of Yotei, God of War, even Spider-Man. Like, I mean, granted, Spider-Man's not a giant world. You can bug test it pretty easily, but like, giant open world games are killing games.
Yes.
Because making them look 4K gorgeous with a giant world to explore and all these fun things, and all the POI and all, you can't fucking balance it all. You can't test for all of it. So then somebody runs into this corner that like 3 testers like, hey, this corner matters, and the developer's like, we can't fucking get there by then. And you run into a bug and everybody complains about the game.
That's the thing. And I think it's a twofold problem because one is we're to blame as far as actual players, partly.
Right.
Because we ask for all this stuff and we want more, and you know, we need 4K graphics, and if it's 58 FPS instead of 60, the developer gets lambasted and dragged across the coals, you know. But if it's too short, we complain about that. If it's too long, we don't have time to do. So we're always complaining about something. So developers have to find that sweet spot. But if there's just one thing, even if there's a rumor before the game even comes out, the game doesn't sell well.
Yeah.
And then it fails, and then the studio fails, and then we blame the studio for failing when we didn't buy the game because they tried to give us what we wanted. So it's a twofold problem. Developers are listening too much to us. We have, or think we have, way too much input on what should be in games because of social media, that we need to get back to smaller games, because even if developers or gamers don't want to admit it, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're not going to buy a game because it's too long, or you're not going to buy it because it takes too long to make, or it didn't take long enough to make, but you don't have all this stuff in it. You need to find something in the middle. So you're going to have really great stuff with good, just not a lot of it. So that's where the developers have to come in. You have to focus on the good story. Focus on that good story for 10, 12 hours. We'll deal with that. Right, we'll take care of what we think about the gameplay overall when we play it, and then we're going to get a great story. We don't have to waste a lot of our time. They can start making a new game more, have more surplus money to do it, because if someone buys 100,000 copies of a game, that's 4 years to make versus 1 year, 1 year and a half with less resources. Of course, you're going to have the same amount of sales, but a lot more surplus.
Look at, like, Ubisoft used to release, what, like 6 games a year?
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, now they release like 2, and everybody's shitting all over them because they're not perfect games.
Well, yeah, and there's obviously a lot more
Well,
going on, especially
yeah.
with Shadows now. But what do you think of that? Speaking of, do you see that got delayed again to the 20th?
I mean, it's a smart move. You drop it in the middle. You dropped it on February 14th, was it?
Right.
You're going into a shitstorm. You're releasing an adventure game on top of 2 giant adventure games.
Okay, forget about that though. But did you see that? I didn't realize this because I didn't know, but until I saw it, did you see the significance of the date of March 20th that they're releasing it on?
No.
They could have picked any day, right? Obviously, they're releasing it. Now, keep in mind that they're doing this Japanese, historically accurate, which it's not, but that's what they said it was going to be. Accurate game, Japanese and everything, and all the backlash they're getting from Japanese players and Tokyo and everything. That they're now releasing it on March 20th, 2025, which happens to be the 30th anniversary, March 20th of 1995, of like the most deadly terrorist attack in Japanese history, the gas attack in the subway in 1995. So I'm like it's like releasing, I don't know, like a game where you play the actual terrorist on the anniversary of 9/11. Like it would make no sense.
I mean,
Like they can't get out of their own way.
it's that I don't know. That's one of those things where like
Granted, I don't think that date like has really much to do with it.
Right.
I think it's more is being made out of it because of all the other screw ups. Like if they just happened to pick this day and there was nothing wrong with it, nobody would think twice. But now it's like, really, like you didn't do more research on it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If they picked like March 3rd of this year, like they threw a dart on a dartboard, that's where it landed.
Yeah.
Somebody would be like, March 3rd is the day that fucking samurai went and started committing seppuku more. Like, dude, shut the like. We get it.
That's possible, yeah. But
You
this
know?
is just funny. Like it's kind of the deadliest day, so that's kind of
Yeah.
funny. But I don't know about this game, man. I love Assassin's Creed. I don't think I could do it.
Dude, I love Assassin's Creed. I've wanted Assassin's Creed Japan for as long as they fucking made Assassin's Creed games. But now, I'm not paying $70 for this game. If it comes out and some Twitch streamer's playing it and I watch it and I'm like, oh, they fixed it. This looks incredible. Let's go. Maybe. But, do you think I'm going to be done playing Monster Hunter in 20 days? I got a lot of monsters to kill.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna touch. I can't touch Monster Hunter.
I'm going to. I'm going to play the shit out of some
I don't
Monster
know.
Hunter.
Well, that's why you would like
Eternal Strands.
Eternal Strands. Yeah,
Yeah.
the game. We're gonna obviously. I put the video up of it earlier, the one boss fight. Some Let's Plays and minor stuff we can say, like the full review is going to be up on the 27th because it releases on the 28th. So I'm going to get some stuff done, get a video uploaded for that. But you'll like it because I know you're like huge Monster Hunter fan, and it's the same type of leveling. There's no levels, like level 2, 3. There's no way you can't pause the game and check your level anywhere. Your only level is based on your gear, and the only gear you find is crafted. It's not like, an enemy doesn't drop a sword that you picked up. All they do is draft wood. And the one thing you'll like is the entire game is physics based. Now, not just like, and I don't mean where if you jump to the left, your whole character moves to the left. Even if you stop holding the stick left, it doesn't just drop down. Everything. The weather is physics based. Where, say you need fur to craft a certain animal's fur to craft a weapon, right? You use fire magic and you burn the wolf to death. Now you're not going to get fur because you burned the fur. If you need metal and you use ice magic to like freeze the metal and break it apart, you now made the metal too brittle and destroyed the part you need. So now you're not going to get that. If it's daytime out and you use your ice magic to try to freeze an enemy in place, it lasts a hell of a lot less time than if it's at night because the sun melts the ice a lot quicker.
That's really cool, but also sounds
Yeah.
really aggravating.
It is, and the one thing is, I'm sitting there, I'm like, crap, I gotta go to the other side of the mountain, right? I'm like, great, now I gotta run all the way around. You don't, because every surface is climbable, and
Okay.
there's no It's kind of
So kind of
when
like
you
Breath of
see
the Wild.
it is exactly like Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom, especially the way you climb. The way the character climbs is exactly like Link, where like how they move up like this, and you see the stamina meter going down. The one thing I like is, in Breath of the Wild, if you try to like jump while you're climbing to get up someplace quicker, you use like that chunk of stamina
Yeah.
instead of just going down. This does that, but you don't use you. It's easier if you jump up because you use the same amount of stamina jumping up as just climbing, but you get a lot farther if you jump. You don't use that huge chunk like you do in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, which is good. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh shit, like I got to go all the way around. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I could climb it. Like I didn't know. I just saw this big giant mountain. I figured it was like the end of the thing, but no, you can climb up it, jump off. There's time dilation if you use your bow.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're flying on a dragon and you're like, shit, I'm gonna fall off. Use your ice magic on the wings. They can't fly. They crash to the ground.
That's Kind of awesome. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. When's that come out?
January 28th.
Okay, so next week.
It's on. Yeah, it's on Xbox. It's on Game Pass day one. It's on PlayStation and PC.
Okay, I'm gonna have to download that and see if I can con some friends into playing with me. Is it multiplayer?
Yeah. No, just single player adventure game.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. I'm gonna have to fuck with that a little bit at least.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I thought you were gonna say something. What do you got?
I'm gonna roll right into. I just realized there's a demo for Corridon, so I can talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
And I don't have a ton to say. The graphics are awesome. Like, I love the art style. I love the way it looks. But it's a Diablo clone with Souls elements. Like, we've seen stuff similar before. It's difficult. It's hard. It's got fun quests. It's much more RPG than Diablo.
Okay.
So you get a lot more quests, not so much like, hey, go over here and kill 14 monsters. Like, no, I just don't want to do that. I want to... Instead, it's like, go to the abandoned mine and find me my gizmo. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that.
Okay.
But, yeah, otherwise, though, like, lots of weapons, lots of different weapon types. There's 4 different characters you could start as, and I think they all have, like, their own personality for the game. So I think each person, when you play multiplayer, each person plays a different character.
Okay.
It's cool. Like, so far, so good. Gear's cool. The animal transformations, like, really switch up the game. Because different animals have completely different attack patterns, completely different, like, specials. It's cool.
Okay. Another to get back to Eternal Strands that I like is there's so many different ways to beat bosses. Like if you're in the woods and you find one of the fire flowers that you can just grab with your magic. The 2 types of magic you have are you don't have fire magic. You have ice wall, which can be upgraded to different ice abilities. You can like freeze enemies in place. If you have to get over fire, you could like spray your ice on the ground, jump on it, spray your ice on the ground, jump on it. You can get across that way.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you just walk through the fire, you take damage unless you have like, one of the vials or you crafted a piece of gear that's heat resistant and you could just walk across. Same thing with the cold. If you walk across cold, you get tick damage unless you have your heat, cold resistant gear. But if you take like one of the flowers and you're like, oh shit, there's an enemy over there by the trees, but there's a bunch of trees between you and the enemy doesn't see you. You throw the flower into the trees and it creates like a forest fire towards the enemy and it'll take out the enemy that way. You don't got to do anything. Yeah. Bosses, like if you need to, you have to like certain levels to upgrade your magic. You can only get from like the mini field bosses, similar to the one that was in the video that we uploaded last night. Now you can kill them and just get things, or once you upgrade it to a level 3 max for each ability, there's no reason to harvest the energy from it because you can't do anything with it. But in order to do that, you sometimes you can't kill them a certain way. Like dragons, you can only harvest them when they're in the air. So if you knock both, but like the one dragon, you can harvest it in the air, but it can't have the ability to do a barrel roll because you can't cling on and hold on. You'll get thrown off. So what you do is you have to, in order to make it not to be able to do a barrel roll, you have to take one of its wings off. So it could fly in the air like a little bit, but just with one wing, but it can't roll over because it doesn't have 2.
Right.
So you could like ice and then rip it off, make it brittle and rip the wing off. Okay. But now if you do that to both wings to keep the dragon on the ground so it's easier to kill, you'll be able to kill it, but he won't be able to fly away. So you won't be able to get that harvest if you need it. So if you kill it by accident, you're kind of done. You have to just kill it and then leave and come back to the area, so it will respawn and do it again.
Okay. I mean, that sounds fucking rad. I can't wait to see your...
Yeah.
I can't wait to, like, watch your full review and,
yeah.
actually get my grubby mitts on it.
You can throw enemies into other enemies with your, with the grasp, the purple magic. It's like Weaver's Grasp. Pick up a wolf and just launch it off. You're like, shit, I'm low on health. Just grab it and launch it off the freaking cliff. It's gone. And it's kind of like I don't know. I forget the name of the game, but it's kind of like it doesn't matter. You don't have to go near the enemy to pick up like the energy from it. It just it just comes right back to you. It just finds its way back to you. But if you wanted to get loot from it, then you would have to like then you would lose it obviously if you launch it off the cliff. You'd have to just go down and get it. But there's magic, sword and shield, and a bow and arrow
Okay.
that you can use. But you can't use the sword and shield or bow and arrow at the same time. You have to go through the wheel and equip the bow. So if you have the bow equipped and you're doing magic and you're like, shit, I'm close to the enemy, I want to start attacking, and you hit the right bumper to attack, you just start like rapid firing arrows. You got to like switch back. And did you play Forspoken?
No.
All right. It's kind of like for the people that played Forspoken, the combat setup is like that, where you'll have, say, you have your sword and shield and whatever your grass magic, your purple magic, and you shit. I want to go to ice. Holding up on the D-pad brings up the wheel, and it does one of those where it drastically slows down the gameplay, so the enemy can't really attack you. So you could switch to another one, freeze it, switch. So if you freeze a piece of the enemy, the armor, you freeze it, makes it really brittle. Now you switch back to the grasp and you rip it off. When you couldn't rip it off if it wasn't frozen because it wasn't brittle enough.
That's okay. That's fucking cool. Like,
Yeah, and that's just what I found. Like I'm like 5 hours in, and there's enemies that obviously I haven't seen yet. So I don't. There's gonna be so much more.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Off subject, something we haven't even talked about. Did you see the trailer?
What do you got?
The new trailer for Fanblade Zero?
Phantom Blade. Yes, I did actually. It looks really good.
Fucking, that game looks...
Yeah, PS5 exclusive too.
I thought it was coming to PC too.
Maybe it might be a console exclusive. It's definitely not going to be an Xbox.
Yeah, which is kind of sad, but...
If you remember the developer last year, I think it was like August. The developer said like nobody needs an Xbox
I mean...
for that game.
Nobody needs a PlayStation either. Like, I won't die without it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. I guess he is getting paid by Sony, so what do you expect? But,
Yeah. Which, like, I kind of get where he's coming from because all the exclusives come to PC, but not everybody can afford $2,000 to put into a box.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, PC is better than PS5." It's like, okay, but is your PC better than a PS5?
I mean, my PC's about as good as a PS5.
Yeah. I can't. Like, I got a Asus laptop, the gaming laptop. I play very minimal games on PC.
Like, dude, I love PC gaming, but like, actually, who do I gotta reach? I'll reach out. I'll talk to you later about that because I was gonna ask you about.
Yeah. I got this mainly for work, but now, oh, screw it. I'll just get a gaming laptop I can play PC games on.
Yeah. Yeah, like, honestly, I keep thinking about getting a fucking, like, a Steam Deck or something, but Switch 2's coming.
What do you think is going to be... Actually, because we were talking about Nintendo. One is, do you think Game Pass will be on the Switch 2?
I think if they can make that deal work, yes, your Game Pass Ultimate subscription will allow you to stream games to Switch 2.
Do you think that, like, you just log in a Game Pass and you're just playing... It's like... It's almost like it's cloud gaming via the Switch 2.
Yeah.
On Game Pass. Okay. Do you think they'll put if they do that, because it doesn't...
This will not be reciprocal, no.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. There's no negative impact for Nintendo if they do that.
Right.
Because they just have extra. They're not losing anything. Do you think, and I know your answer is no already, but mine is too. Do you think that you would get any sort of collaboration with a Nintendo game on Xbox?
Here's a Splatoon skin for Halo Infinite.
That may be it. Yeah, I don't see Nintendo, especially with how protective they are, like with mods, and they sue the shit out of everybody that even like talks about a game. You know, I don't think they would ever do it.
No, I don't think so either. Like, here's your MO's like, here's your Pikachu skin for Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War Emergence.
I don't even think they do that, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think so either, but it'd be fun.
Imagine Marcus Phoenix in a Pikachu skin.
Right.
That'd be kind of funny.
Especially if it's the voice. Like, he's all gruff like, oh, fuck! Pika,
Yeah.
Pika!
That would be pretty funny, actually. Speaking of dude, I need. What do you think the mystery game is going to be at the developer today at 1 o'clock? And reminder to everybody too, the Xbox it's going to be on at 1 o'clock. So I may try to do that live.
Trying to think what the hell game would. I don't know. There's like a Japanese developer from a long-running series.
Yeah, it's a new installment from a long-running series of a Japanese developer.
The real question
Now,
is it new to Xbox or new?
I it has to be new. I
Okay.
don't see them pulling like the
Like here's Final
jerk
Fantasy
move.
16.
yeah. I think that's still coming, but I don't think like that would be like, oh, it's a new like, oh, yeah, it's new to Xbox. No, it's not what it's kind of like what Arkham Knight did when Arkham Knight's like, oh, the Arkham Knight is a brand new character, right? And like everyone's trying to figure out who it was, and it ended up being Jason Todd. Like Jason Todd's not a brand new character, and like, well, it's new to this game. Like, stop. Like that's not what that means. And that's what it pissed a lot of people off.
I called that months out. My buddy who's a huge comic fan was like, no way it's Jason Todd. No way. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, man. I was right. Just like the end of Resident Dude, I called the, did you ever play Resident Evil 7, Biohazard?
No.
I called the end of that game, like, as a joke.
That's funny.
Yeah. But, I think that turns out to be, I'm struggling here, because, like, they already announced Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest 12 is already announced. Final Fantasy doesn't, I mean, they could be releasing, like, Final Fantasy 6 remaster or Final Fantasy 9 remaster.
I think I have an idea of what it might be, especially with the most recent collaborations that have been on Xbox.
What you got?
Persona 6.
A lot of people are talking about that, and I'm fucking here
Yeah.
for it. Persona 5 was years ago. Metaphor was awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's not Persona.
Think about it. It makes sense. It's a new game. It's not like a port, or it's not like an old game that's new to Xbox. So
Yeah.
it would be a brand new game. Clearly, it's a long-running Japanese franchise. So it makes sense. I don't know. I mean, it could be. Maybe that's why it won't be that, because it makes sense. I don't know, but
I mean, I'm here for that. I mean, it's hard to say, like... I'm thinking Persona's on that list. Maybe a new Final Fantasy remaster. Again, if they're going new to Xbox, it could be Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Rebirth coming. You know, but... I mean, there's dreams. I have dreams. Like, there's dream games out there, but...
why? What would your dream game be?
Oh, dude, Lunar 3.
Oh, they're never gonna make that.
No,
Never. Dude.
Grandia 4, you know, like...
No, Lunar's games were amazing. Like, I mean, the story's over though after the second game. It's kind of like impossible unless they make new characters.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, at least we're gonna get to play them again. First time ever on Xbox.
I'm
Because
excited
they're
to...
coming out this. They're coming out this spring. Was it April?
It's my birthday. Right? Is
That
it?
comes out on your birthday?
I think it's...
I thought it was.
My birthday is in April.
I just couldn't remember. I thought the games come out in April. I'm not sure.
Vanessa,
Isn't it like April 25th?
Hold on. April 18th.
April 18th. All right, close enough.
Which-
All right.
Happy birthday to me. I'll take that day.
Nice.
I'll have to play Lunar all day.
Nice. No, mine's in 2 weeks, so we'll see
Oh,
what.
nice.
I got nothing coming. I got nothing coming out on my birthday. But plus it's a Wednesday this year, so nothing ever comes out on a Wednesday.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, dude. First, those two games I loved, man. I loved them on Sega CD. I played every bit of them. I remembered. I don't know why I remember this, but it's because it's the same as Lost Odyssey. I run around. I try to get everything done in those games, like Final Fantasy X. I unlocked like everything in the Sphere Grid, Lost Odyssey, everything. I did. I beat Lost Odyssey at like level 41.
Yeah.
And if you remember, you were basically, if you want like my character to be leveled up immune to magic, you have to wear like the certain piece of equipment and fight and get a certain amount of XP with that piece of equipment on.
Yeah.
But as my character does it, your character's not getting it. Once I would get that max, I would take it off, put it on your character, fight up, take it off, put it on the next character. So at the time I fought the boss, I was basically immune to all physical and magical damage. Like it was basically like invincible at level 41. And it was the same level I was that I beat Lunar games at level 41. That's the only reason I remember. But those games now, if you go to eBay, they're like $600-$700.
Like I said,
The Sega CD games.
I picked up the
Panzer
PS1
Dragoon's like over $1,000.
Dude, Panzer Dragoon Saga is way too
Yeah,
fucking...
on Sega CD Panzer Dragoon is over like $1,000 on eBay. Or if you go to like the retro stores that have it, like there's one 2 blocks from my house, they have it. It's like several $100s.
Yeah, like dude, just loose. It's like $200-300.
Yeah, like no case. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane.
I
They got they got Saturn games there. Everything is crazy.
Dude,
The
Saturn
one by my
games-
house here.
the Saturn games you'd want to buy a Saturn for are fucking
Yeah.
expensive as hell.
Dreamcast. They got all the retro consoles there you can buy.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to buy the Sega CD, but I asked if they had, because remember you need the Genesis to work with it.
Right.
But they have the minor system where you can get it for like $250, like the mini combined system. I'm like, I'm not dropping it on that just to play Lunar when you can play Lunar online now for free.
Yeah.
There's like websites that have it for free. But it's going to be on the disc is coming out digital, and you could buy. It's going to be on Xbox for the first time, not just because the original games were already on PlayStation.
Yeah, there were PS1 titles.
Yeah, but now they're making it like specifically for the 5 and the Xbox on disc and digital.
Wow, cool. The physical will only be on PS4 and Switch, so Xbox once again only gets digital games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I could have sworn I saw a disc
This
box for Xbox, unless
this
it was
according
just art.
to Wario 64,
Okay.
and it's exclusive to Amazon. So if you want those physical, which I'm fine. I'd love to buy those games on Switch and just play them on there.
The only thing is, you obviously got to wait till like the day after release usually to get it,
Yeah.
because they don't ship it until launch day.
So
It's no big deal. I mean,
yeah, I'll probably just buy
I'll play-
digital.
I'll play digital now anyway, most likely, then if that's the case. Another one I wanted to talk about real quick is the demo for the first Berserker Kazan is out. I could have sworn this was coming to Game Pass. I read it. I could have sworn it, but it's not. I could have
No.
sworn I read about it. Yeah, it's not. I could have sworn it was, because even when I looked it up, I just voice searched it, and maybe originally it was thought it was coming to Game Pass, but it was not. I don't know. But I downloaded it, the app for I wanted to play it on Xbox because I thought it was coming to Game Pass. But the app didn't update on Xbox the same time as PlayStation. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just download the demo on PlayStation. And I didn't know the demo carries over to the full game.
Yeah.
And then I tried to play it on Xbox because I thought it was going to be on Game Pass. So I'll level up and I'll start a jump on Game Pass for free. Nah. But that game is hard.
Yes.
But it's a lot of fun.
It's
Did you
very
play
cool.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I beat the demo. It takes like 4 hours to beat it. The last guy, I was like, where the hell did this guy get these abilities? I watched the video. I'm like, where does this guy get these moves from? I'm like, I don't have these moves. And I look, and I didn't realize that he had like some of the spirit skills unlocked. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know. So I did that, and I finally was able to beat him after like maybe 20 minutes of trying with those abilities, not just overall. But the timing is good. I like the way it's set up with the obviously, the Souls-like. It's easy to farm. There's a few areas in the demo where you can farm. So I beat it at level 23, and now I'm level 11. But I'm just farming to see how far I can get up, because I want to try to get maybe like all the skills I can get and beat it at like level 40.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, just for when the full game comes out, I'm just overpowered at the start.
That's definitely a game I'm gonna pick up. Probably not day. When's that come out? When's Kazan come out? That's another what?
March 27th.
Okay.
So you got like 2 months away. You got far.
That might.
And I mean, you could play the demo the entire time.
Yeah.
You got like 2 months to level up.
Like I liked the demo a lot. I think that had some really cool attacks. I think, like
Yeah.
you said, the timing's it's really crisp.
Yeah. And I like the cell shaded animation too.
Yeah, which it had to be because it's a DNF game.
Yeah.
So
And it's Bandai, which is good.
yeah,
Bandai makes good games.
is it Bandai? I thought this was by DNF's first party stuff.
Oh, I think it's Bandai Namco. Am I wrong?
Could be.
Pretty sure it's Bandai Namco.
Nexon. Nexon's publishing it, and it's being developed by Neopol.
So it's not Bandai. Okay. I could have sworn it was Bandai Namco. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean it's Dungeon Fighters, so I kind of expected.
Yeah. Oh, what another one? What about crap? I know another game's coming out soon. Is Dynasty Warriors, the Origins game. That's coming out soon.
It's out.
It,
It came out on the 17th.
I didn't even know that. I thought it came out next month. So many games, dude. I'm losing my mind.
yeah,
I keep flip flopping them now.
Last year was barren. Now we're
Yeah.
back. Games are back.
Yeah.
2023
2023 was great. 24 was okay, and now it's like seems crazy.
Beginning of 24 was great because that's when we got
Yeah.
the Stellar Blade and stuff. But
Yep. No.
yeah, like
Yeah, I don't know. I may do this Xbox show live. I got to see, depending on how my daughter feels, because she's sick. So, depending on how that feels, I may do it live. If not, I'll just watch it and live tweet it out on
yeah,
X.
I can't watch it till after I get home from work.
Well, you could just go hide in the bathroom with an earbud or something so nobody hears it.
They fucking track me now because I've done that too many times.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I'm
You
not
show,
even
well,
on- I'm not
yeah,
on
take
my
a
phone.
take a lunch break, and then at the end of your lunch break, happen to go to the bathroom and extend it a little bit, and there you go.
That's what I might do. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, throw an earbud in there, and you're perfect.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll
So-
at least check out the highlights when I'm on break, and then I'll watch
Yeah.
the trailers I want to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it on X as soon as the trailers get released. I'll post them up there,
Okay.
so everybody to see them as well. And yeah, we'll recap it later on tonight or a couple days for everybody.
Sounds good to me.
All right, take it easy, everybody.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Later, man.
Later. I should probably stop.